This is his world, Martin Koch's world, Africa, the continent of red sunsets, the bush and desert, where life continues undisturbed by man, and time stands still. The continent of contrasts, where the call of God's creatures reminds one of the smallness of man, the wonder of the creation, where the Big Five roam. Impala leap gracefully through the African panorama. An eagle swiftly sweeps the sky. Koch uses brush and canvas to immortalize the unspoilt beauty of Africa that might one day sadly disappear before the onslaught of man, the most vigorous predator of the universe. He brings the bush alive in the concrete world of the city dweller. He is a hunter, but does not kill. Armed with only palette and easel, he measures his wits with those of the animals in the bush, capturing scenes and the habitat on canvas for future generations. Koch, who never did anything else in his life, descends from an ancestry of missionaries and medical professionals. Amongst them, the famous Dr. Robert Koch, who discovered a cure for tuberculosis, for which he was awarded a Nobel Prize. At the age of 14, Martin exhibited his works in public for the first time at a university art festival in Johannesburg. On this occasion, he obtained as many as 20 diplomas for his works. He astonished art critics with almost uncanny natural skills with brush, pencil, and paint. He knows the geology, landscape, people, plants, and animals of his native country intimately. Self-taught, he has exhibited at prestigious art galleries such as the Tryon Galleries in London and the Kennedy Art Gallery in New York. He has also held several other exhibitions in America, and his works are exhibited in galleries all over the world, from London to Kenya. His knowledge of the ever-changing African landscape is unequaled. From the barren Kalahari Desert to the wrinkles on an elephant's face, the patterns on a leopard's fur, or the black spot on an impala's ankle. Koch developed his techniques by studying the anatomy of the various animals in their natural habitat. He is considered one of the foremost wildlife artists in the world. The quality of his work and the versatility of his talent can only be attributed to a genius. This is a fact art critics all over the world have repeatedly stated. He was also well received by the American press, who could not stop writing about the hunter with pen and pencil. He began to specialize in animals at the age of 16, and at 18 made the first of numerous forays into the bush. He usually works alone and prefers the solitude of what he calls his private world. Some of his best works are to be seen in major government and corporate buildings of companies all over the world. And his works are sought after by art lovers and collectors internationally. He even contributed to the ambiance of Africa's unique Lost Cities President Suite, created by the Sun King Saul Kerzner in the Pilanesberg region of southern Africa. One of his famous collections is the series of wildlife works on display at various rest camps in the world-renowned Kruger National Park. It is his consuming love for the subjects of his paintings that make them come alive, make them a little piece of Africa. Whether they hang in the Kruger National Park, London, New York, or in Tokyo. He is able to capture the realism of the scene on both small and large canvases, something few artists can successfully accomplish. His work, bearing such titles as Zebra Reflections, African Peace, and In the Heat of the Day, speaks of an unusual communication between artist and nature. Something that results in paintings vibrant with atmosphere, never just reproductions of scenes. Many of his paintings are displayed in his Cape Dutch home, which also accommodates his modern studio. The smell of an approaching African storm and the tranquility of a desolate Karoo landscape are brought alive in his paintings. Not mere illustrations of landscapes, but expressions of a human being who has become part of nature. Koch is versatile. Not only does he know the African bush, its inhabitants, the gazelles on the plains, and the small creatures of the desert intimately, but he has managed to capture the boisterous waves of the Atlantic and Indian Oceans breaking on the unspoilt rocks of the African coastline. Koch paints in oils, but is equally creative with watercolors, and thus, from time to time, reflects his images of a bowl of flowers or some other object which stimulates his mood in a still life. Even after more than 40 years as an artist, he still experiments his techniques with brush and palette. Each day brings new images, like the ever-changing skyline of his beloved country, in a continent where something new is always to be found. And an artist captures the images for future generations. In partnership with Martin Koch, in this African adventure, is his equally talented son, Robert Koch. He shares his father's passion for the beauty of Africa, but he is an artist in his own right. Robert is, apart from artist par excellence, also a qualified nature conservationist. He has obtained various prestigious awards for his artwork in South Africa and abroad, which is an acknowledgement of the great talent of this young artist. He has participated in exhibitions at local art galleries, such as Schweikert Gallery, Martin Koch Gallery, and abroad at Christie's in London. He is often commissioned by national and international bodies and corporations to do paintings for them. He works in different mediums, such as oils, watercolor, pastel, pen, pencil, and sculpturing. Martin Koch, Robert Koch, artists from Africa.